Let's be real here. Rick Sanchez is one selfish prick. The guy trapped his family in a simulation for 17 years because they took his phone charger.
Rick, Mom! Rick put us in a simulated reality to teach us a lesson about taking his phone charger and not giving him back, and then he fell asleep and forgot about us for the Matrix equivalent of 17 years.
But here's the thing. Buried under all that alcoholism and God-complex nonsense, Rick actually has moments where he acts like a decent human being. And here, we're counting every single time this mad scientist decided to give a damn about someone other than himself across all 8 seasons. Let's start with Season 1, where Rick took revenge for Morty. After leading an adventure to a fantasy world, Morty goes to the bathroom and meets Mr. Jellybean. What starts as friendly conversation turns into assault. Morty barely escapes and immediately begs Rick to end the adventure.
I'm on fire!
Look, I want to leave now. You win the bet, okay? Just give me the portal gun and let's go, please!
Rick can tell something's seriously wrong. He agrees without arguing. They grab the portal gun and step through to leave. But just before the portal closes, Rick turns back for a split second and blasts Mr. Jellybean, the village's king, to pieces. Rick didn't need to do that. They were already safe. The adventure was over, but he went back anyway because nobody hurts Morty and gets away with it. That's Season 1 Rick showing he actually cares. Season 2 gave us the only time Rick was willing to actually die for Morty. Rick keeps time frozen for 6 months to clean up a mess. When Morty and Summer argue, time fractures into multiple realities.
You shut up!
Whoa, what the hell?
A time cop shows up, putting stabilizer collars on everyone and sending them to time prison forever. During the chaos of fighting back, Morty's collar breaks and falls into an endless void. Rick doesn't hesitate. He jumps after Morty without thinking twice. In midair, he pushes his own working collar onto Morty's neck, saving him but trapping himself in collapsing nothingness. Rick floats alone and tells Morty to grow up better than he did.
Be good, Morty. Be better than me.
He's fully accepted he's going to die. He only survives because he spots Morty's broken collar below, fixes it mid-fall, and teleports back at the last second. Rick jumped into oblivion and gave up his only escape, fully prepared to die alone if it meant Morty survived. In Season 3, Rick proved family matters even when it costs everything. After surrendering to the Galactic Federation at the end of Season 2, Rick's trapped in their prison while his family struggles on occupied Earth. Everyone's given up on Rick except Summer. She digs up alternate graves to find a portal gun. Her and Morty jump dimensions, but other Ricks show up to assassinate our Rick. So now Rick is surrounded on all fronts, the Federation interrogating him and the Council of Ricks trying to kill him. But Rick tricks the Federation agents, swaps bodies, and stays 10 steps ahead. When Summer and Morty are being interrogated, Rick shows up to save them. Evil Rick uses Summer as leverage, but Rick plays it cool. Morty shoots his grandpa. Except it was all part of Rick's plan. Fake gun, brilliant execution. After escaping, Rick crashes the entire Federation's economy from the inside. The Empire collapses. Rick reunites with his family because despite everything, they matter to him. Season 4 showed Rick developing a genuine friendship with a stranger. Rick discovers an alien named Tony has been using his private toilet. Rick initially plans to execute him, but the two end up making an unexpected connection. Tony's just a depressed office worker who found comfort in Rick's toilet.
Using your toilet was nice, though.
Despite every instinct telling him not to care, Rick bonds with this guy. They start hanging out, and for once, Rick actually enjoys someone's company without any ulterior motive. When Tony later dies, Rick is genuinely devastated.
Tony died.
Excuse me?
He mourns him. Not sarcastically, not as part of some scheme. He's actually grieving the loss of a friend. For someone who claims nothing matters because infinite universes exist, Rick chose to care about this specific Tony from this specific reality. Season 5 proved Rick values friendship above everything. After Birdperson was turned into Phoenix Person and seemingly killed, Rick spent months secretly rebuilding him in his garage. The problem? Birdperson's consciousness retreated deep into his mind. So Rick pulls an Inception and dives into Birdperson's memories to bring him back. Inside Birdperson's mind, Rick explores their past, from when they were freedom fighters to happier times together. During a memory of the Battle of Blood Ridge, Rick asks Birdperson to run away with him to explore the galaxy. When Birdperson rejects him, it genuinely hurts Rick. Even though Rick could go to another universe and find a different Birdperson, he cares about this specific one. For someone who acts like individuals don't matter because of infinite realities, Rick went through hell to save this particular friend. He doesn't just want a Birdperson, he wants his Birdperson. Season 6 showed Rick's growth by doing the impossible, being nice to Jerry. In Analyze Piss, Rick builds Jerry an Iron Man suit and actually believes in him. This is the same Rick who spent 5 seasons mocking Jerry relentlessly. Rick wanted Jerry to become a protector of the universe after Jerry defended his family's honor. Rick even warned him that with great power came great responsibility. It showed maturity and evolution from a Rick who would usually steer Jerry wrong for comedy's sake. For the first time, Rick genuinely wanted the family to be proud of Jerry as he lived out a superhero dream.
That's my parents!
No tricks, no mockery, just Rick helping Jerry become better. That's character development nobody expected. Season 7 gave us something groundbreaking, Rick actually working on himself. In Air Force Wong, Rick continues regular therapy sessions with Dr. Wong, showing he's putting in real effort to change. Dr. Wong has always been able to cut Rick down to size. She diagnosed him seasons ago, saying he alternates between viewing his mind as an unstoppable force and an inescapable curse. But now Rick's actually listening. Rick and Unity's reconciliation in this episode shows how far he's come. Rather than let negative emotions simmer, Rick expresses them coherently and accepts what it means for the relationship. Unity sets a healthy boundary and leaves, and Rick respects it. For a guy who turned himself into a pickle to avoid family therapy, this is massive growth. Rick's becoming a better person, even if he still struggles with his core issues. Season 8's finale, Hot Rick, gave us one of the most emotional episodes in the entire series. A sentient memory of young Rick attempts to rescue the last memory of his dead wife Diane from inside Beth's mind. But Memory Rick's manipulation of Beth's past causes her to have a complete breakdown. Beth temporarily kills Space Beth and almost commits suicide by driving off a cliff. Real Rick realizes what's happening and saves his daughter at the last moment. He opens up emotionally in a way we've never seen before.
Real dad is here, Beth, and he's more emotionally open.
Embracing Beth as she struggles with her traumatized memories. After evolving as a person and being there for his daughter when she needed him most, Rick still ends up alone. He did the right thing. He matured. He was emotionally vulnerable, and he's still left without the last memory of his wife and an unanswered text from someone he saw a romantic future with. It perfectly captures Rick's growth throughout the entire series and shows he genuinely cares about his family, even though he still struggles with the same core issues that make him Rick. So after 8 seasons of chaos, dimension hopping, and existential dread, how many times did Rick Sanchez actually show humanity? 8 major moments spanning every single season. He murdered a Predator King for revenge. He jumped into a void accepting death for Morty. He crashed an empire to reunite with his family. He mourned the death of a friend. He dove into his best friend's mind to save him. He believed in Jerry when nobody else did. He actually went to therapy and worked on himself, and he saved his daughter from a mental breakdown while sacrificing his last memory of his dead wife. 8 times across 8 seasons where Rick, the guy who claims nothing matters because infinite universes exist, stopped being a selfish prick long enough to prove he's capable of genuine love and growth. Rick Sanchez might be the smartest man in the universe, but turns out he's got a heart buried under all that cynicism. He just spent 8 seasons learning how to use it. Think we missed a moment? Drop it in the comments. And subscribe so you don't miss when we analyze which Rick and Morty episode is scientifically the most traumatic.